a fish-infused ingredient, a popular canned fruit, and spicy hot sauces? Get ready to up your sausage gravy game with these additions. A velvety sauce starts with a roux. A roux is a fundamental technique in cooking that uses equal parts fat and flour to thicken sauces and gravies. To make a roux for gravies, you will start by heating fat in a skillet. Since pork often leaves rendered fat after cooking, you can use some of that fat to create your base. But as you will want at least 2 tablespoons of fat, you may want to compensate with butter.
You can never have too much butter.
The fat content of real butter is best for a roux, and we do recommend using butter instead of margarine. You can use salted or unsalted butter without affecting the final result. Unsalted butter is preferred by many cooks as it allows salt levels to be adjusted more easily when cooking. Margarine can work in a pinch, though it is made of vegetable oil instead of cream, has higher water content, and sometimes added components that can affect the final taste and texture of the gravy. Once the roux is golden in color and frothy, it's time to make things nice and creamy. Adding milk creates a classic bechamel sauce, which is one of the 5 French mother sauces. In most cases, whole milk is widely preferred when making bechamel. Whole milk has a fat content of 3.25% per the Washington Post, and this fat content is what creates a thick, rich sauce for sausage gravy. If you substitute with skim milk, you could end up with a finished product watery in composition. As for a plant-based milk alternative, you may end up with the same consistency problems as well as an undesired, naturally sweet taste that's often found in nut and oat beverages. Full-fat dairy has unfairly gotten a poor reputation in the past. However, a recent study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition suggests that full-fat dairy may have protective benefits against certain conditions, when consumed in moderation, of course. Create a rich and silky dish using whole milk, and rest easy knowing you're getting loads of flavor with potential health benefits. Certain spices, like ground sage, offer up amazing flavors to enhance a basic blonde breakfast sausage. Sage provides an earthy, woodsy taste that goes perfectly with pork. According to Spiceography, the citrus and pine notes found in sage can cut the richness of a dish and accentuate the minerality of certain ingredients. Ground sage is a powder made from finely ground dried sage leaves, and it has a more pungent flavor than fresh sage. If you're using either ground sage or dried sage leaves, add them early on in the cooking process to allow the flavor to soften before serving. You could also use fresh sage, but since they have a more mild taste, it is best to add fresh sage near the end of the cooking process or as a finishing garnish. Thyme is another savory herb you could use alongside or instead of sage. Thyme tastes like a minty or lemon-esque cousin of sage. Fresh thyme will have a cleaner, brighter taste than dried thyme, but can pair beautifully and uplift your meal. This might surprise you, but you can absolutely make this breakfast recipe without using actual meat. Many popular vegan options do come in patty or link form, but you can break them up before cooking or use a meat chopper as you brown them in a skillet. To make the sauce entirely vegan-friendly, skip the whole milk and use unsweetened and unflavored plant-based milk. In our opinion, hemp, macadamia, and pea milk have the least amount of natural sweetness for baking. If you need more fat content in the roux, use vegetable or olive oil in place of butter. You can even make vegan biscuits by using some helpful tips and recommendations for vegan baking substitutions. Don't feel like making biscuits from scratch? Try your homemade vegan sausage gravy on breakfast potatoes or hash browns instead.
Come on, Rabbit. You can do it. Oh, Rabbit, he's killing you.
If one of the biggest challenges you face each morning is deciding between a sweet or savory breakfast, we've got you covered. Adding a bit of real maple syrup to your sausage gravy recipe adds the slight saccharine profile you crave to a hearty and savory meal. We recommend always choosing real maple syrup over a maple-flavored option, because the real version will lend a mellow maple taste without being overly sugary or sweet. What is the best way to tell real versus fake maple syrup-flavored bottles? Read the ingredients. Look for pure maple syrup as the one and only ingredient on the list, and this will help you avoid the sticky substitutes. You'll also have to remember to store your syrup in the refrigerator to avoid the growth of mold and bacteria. Plastic containers do allow air in, so storing maple syrup in a glass or tin container can keep it fresh and spoil-free for up to a year, according to the USDA. Using garlic powder adds a mild piquant flavor to any dish. It is a convenient and long-lasting ingredient that gives dishes a garlicky essence without any peeling or chopping. Fresh garlic can become overpowering in recipes and has a pretty assertive flavor. Adding this allium in powder form softens the taste and allows other ingredients to shine. If you do happen to have some fresh garlic that is teetering on the not-so-fresh-anymore fence, try dehydrating it in the oven and make your own garlic powder at home to use in your next batch of breakfast gravy. How do you know how much garlic powder to use in your recipe? Spiceography notes that 1 clove of fresh garlic is equal to about 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. We recommend no more than 1/4 of a teaspoon in a batch of sausage gravy. Normally an ingredient added to seasonal baked goods, nutmeg adds a nutty warmth to bechamel-based sauces that other spices and ingredients can't quite reproduce. And its particular softness pairs perfectly with both sausage and silky gravy. Nutmeg comes as a whole seed that can be grated into a meal, or you can buy it already ground into a powder form. When using it in a cream sauce, a little goes a very long way. This is especially true if you're grating it directly into the food. Freshly grated nutmeg has a higher potency, and you'll get the unique flavor by using very little. When adding ground nutmeg to this dish, 1/8 of a teaspoon is plenty. If you do find yourself with a whole nutmeg seed, you can also use it to elevate your mashed potatoes or sprinkle it into a bechamel for an ingredient that will change your lasagna forever. Worcestershire sauce is a fermented fish sauce that lends a briny yet sweet and acidic taste to any meal. Sausage gravy is no exception, and this early morning meal pairs well with all of the complex flavors found in this well-known multi-use condiment. Some home cooks don't realize that the surprising ingredient in Worcestershire sauce is anchovies. The little fish are fermented for 18 months and are what give the sauce its unique salty taste. Along with anchovies, you'll find molasses, salt, vinegar, tamarind, and a few other flavor-packed elements. Leave your hungry breakfast guests wondering what that perfect undertone of flavors could be.
You got 3 lemons.
What my baby wants, my baby gets. You know that.
No, but I wanted 12. Baby wanted 12.
Sausage gravy is not a light food. It is rich and it's hearty and can be quite heavy as a breakfast meal. Using acid to cut through some of the richness of a cream sauce is a great way to lighten up the taste. Lemon juice adds brightness and depth of flavor to a luscious blonde gravy by allowing you to taste more than just fat and dairy. Fresh lemon is key here. Using bottled lemon juice can add an off-putting, artificial, or sour taste to your food. Adding a squeeze of fresh lemon, no more than 2 tablespoons, will elevate the taste of your gravy and help the flavors of the meat and herbs shine through. You can also try this lemon juice trick in your favorite chicken fettuccine recipe, or even to spice up your jarred Alfredo. Onions improve the taste and add a zesty savoriness to almost any dish they are used in. While you can experiment and try cooking with every type of onion, yellow onion is a match made in heaven for this decadent breakfast recipe. Also known as the Spanish onion, yellow onions are a go-to for most recipes that call for alliums and are ideal for sautéing and caramelizing. They have a great depth of flavor, and when cooking onions, yellows offer a light and sweet taste that provide more mild acidity to balance your creamy breakfast staple. Be sure to chop them finely. We suggest mincing and cook them low and slow for quite a while to caramelize them and bring out their sweetness. Add them to your protein just before it finishes browning to punch up the flavor of your sausage gravy. Hatch chiles are a variety of pepper that is commonly found in the Southwest and Midwest. They are drier in taste than bell peppers, and these unique regional chiles offer a balance of mild spiciness, sweetness, and a slight sharp bite to a dish. Hatch chiles can be found raw in many grocery stores, but it is easiest to find them diced and packed into affordable cans. Hatch chiles also have an earthier taste than some of their other chile pepper counterparts. This could explain why they pair so well with savory powerhouses like sage and thyme, and are featured in many sausage varieties and sauces. To use hatch chiles in this dish, dice them up finely, as you would an onion, and cook them right along with your protein before starting the roux. You could also roast them prior to adding them to your dish, which brings out the rich, smoky notes that are waiting to be expressed from the chile. There's an abundance of reasons you should keep cayenne pepper in your pantry, and sausage gravy is one of them. Kick up the warmth in your breakfast sauce by adding a dash of heavy lifting heat. This spicy powder is made from whole cayenne peppers, which register 30,000 to 50,000 Scoville units, compared to the jalapenos, which hits 5,000 units, according to ScovilleScale.org. A few pinches of cayenne pepper will add some serious intensity. Cayenne pepper is also the base of many hot sauces, and you can absolutely add a few shakes of your favorite spicy condiment into this breakfast dish in place of cayenne pepper. The best hot sauce brands will have heat and acidity that blends beautifully with sausage gravy, rather than standing out as an independent addition. While we are all about getting creative and experimenting with ingredients, you will likely find a more successful pairing with Mexican or American-style hot sauces for this breakfast dish, rather than sauces with Thai-inspired flavors. If you want to boost the taste of your dish but are a bit more heat-averse, try using paprika instead of cayenne pepper. Paprika imbues notes of zinging warmth without being inherently pungent. Ro-Tel tomatoes add the perfect amount of acidity and just the right bit of zestiness to this classic breakfast recipe. Tomatoes offer an excellent addition of acid to rich and creamy dishes, while also bringing an inherent tanginess too. And the chiles included in each can of Ro-Tel add a spicy and bold taste. We really could not ask for a better pairing for our early morning meal. Ro-Tel offers a variety of options to upgrade your sausage gravy. Choose from original, mild, or if you're a spice-seeking food lover, go for a can of the hot. Ro-Tel's fire-roasted version erupts out in smokiness and rolls a unique flavor throughout your gravy. We love serving this Ro-Tel infused sausage gravy over a plate of scrambled eggs or on a bowl of cheesy grits.